Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you part 12 of the Scheepjes Crochet Along 2017 Hygge, designed by Kirsten from Hygge CAL. In this part we'll be making these bubble stitches and the background double crochet stitches. For this we'll be using the stone washed and Katona yarn from the kit, all the colors you'll be using, and we'll be doing this with a 4.5mm crochet hook. No embroidery this week, only crochet. We're finished with the embroidery work for this project. So I'll take you step by step through the rows making up this part of the pattern. I hope it's a useful video for you. Thank you for watching. We're on to the first row of this part, and what's very important at this point is that you have the right side of your work facing. You see, here's my separator, my last embroidery work. It's very important that the next row that I'm going to do, I'm going to make a row of double crochets here, is with the right side facing. If you happen to have the wrong side facing at this point, that can happen. Don't stress. You've missed a row somewhere, it's not a problem. I just suggest you quickly work one extra row of double crochets. The reason to do this is because you need the front side facing on row 1, because on row 2 we're going to be making bobble stitches, and those bobble stitches pop to the back when you make them. That means when you have the back side facing, when you work the bobbles are going to pop to the front of your work, which is what you want. But if you have the front side facing when you make those bobbles, they're going to pop to the back, and that you don't want. So that's why I'm saying if you have the right side facing, you're fine. If you've got the wrong side facing, just quickly work one extra row of double crochets and then everything will be fine. Now I'm going to assume you have the right side facing, so I'm just going to start with row 1. Start with a chain 1. That's just to get you to the right working height. Then in that first stitch work a double crochet and continue this until the end, working a double crochet in every stitch, 59 in total. You've of course done this many times already, so actually you don't even need me on this row. So work a double crochet on every stitch till you get to the other side, and then I'll see you for row 2. Row 2. This row we're going to be working double crochets, but we're also going to be working with Katona yarn again to make bobbles. You need color J for this row. For me it's a light pink color from the rainbow kit. If you have a different kit you'll be using a different color yarn, so just check the pattern which color you need for this row. I'm going to however start first with a number of double crochets, and then at a certain point we'll change to the Katona yarn. Chain 1, that's just to turn. Well, I have actually already turned. At this point you have the back of your work facing, so that's important. Make sure that that is the case. With the back facing, going to work 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now comes number 6. I'm going to start number 6, but I'm going to finish it with the Katona yarn. So I'm going to do the last yarn over. I'm going to do with the cotton thread. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through. So now I've got the Katona yarn on my hook. I'm just going to close that stitch. Now we're going to make a bobble stitch. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to bring my stone wash thread to the front, so to facing me. The reason is I don't want this thread to be here on the back of your work, but this is the front side of your work. You don't want any stray loops or anything on that side, so I'm going to bring it to face me, and then nothing weird is going to happen on the other side. Now we're going to do a bobble stitch, and a bobble stitch is in essence 5 trebles that you work together. I'm going to yarn over into the next stitch. So I'm also going to go over the stone washed, but I have the stone washed on my side on that thread. Pick up a loop and then take off 2 loops. And again, yarn over and take off 2 loops. It's twice. You need to do 5 of these of these legs. It's 3, 4, and 5. Just going to close this first thread a little bit. With the starting loop, this will have opened up, so I'm just going to close that a little bit. Now that, as such, to complete the bobble, you now yarn over and pull through. When I'm pulling through, I'm just going to push my hook upwards a little bit so I don't snag my hook here anywhere in these loops. That's one thing. What I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be changing colors to the stone washed again, because I want my next stitch, that's going to be this stitch, well, that has to be a double crochet, and that has to be done with the stone washed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my Katona thread forward, again having facing me, so I don't have anything weird happening on the other side, which is the front of your work. I'm going to yarn over on the stone washed and pull through. That completes the bobble stitch. At this moment it won't really look like much, but the moment you do your next stitch, this will pop to the other side, will pop forward to the front side of our work. Again, with the Katona thread on my side, go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. You can see already as you're doing this that this is coming together and popping the other way. But I only need the one double crochet, so that means immediately already I need to change to the Katona thread again. And this, you're just going to have to hold this a little tight, because otherwise everything will want to open up. And then pull through on that double crochet. Now I've got the Katona on my hook again, and in the next stitch we're doing a bobble again. So again, yarn over, keep the stone wash thread on your side facing you. In the next stitch, I'm going to work those 5 legs again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. At this point I have 6 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and that I'm again going to do with the stone washed. So I'm going to bring the Katona to face me. I'm just going to close that first loop a little bit. There we go. So keeping hold of everything, yarn over and pull through. For the last part of this repeat, we need to work 7 double crochets. And the Katona thread, what's important is again to have it facing you, so not have it on that side, because then you're going to see it from the front of your work. You don't want that. So keep it facing you, and then work. This is the first of 7 double crochets. So that's 1, 2. You can see how I've got that thread facing me. This is number 3. You're taking it with you. Number 4, 5. This here's number 6. Oops. There you go. Number 6. And number 7, which is this one. I'm again going to change colors to the Katona at this point. So I'm bringing my stone washed forward. I'm going to swap it for the Katona and pull through. And now you're at the same point we were here. This is your repeat unit. The bobble, the single double crochet you're doing there, just the one, then the bobble again, and then 7 double crochets. So that you're going to do 4 more times. So if not done once, I'll show you the repeat once more, and then you can do a few more without me. If you look from the front, you'll see the 2 bobbles there, and you see here the double crochets you just did. When everything went right, you don't see your Katona thread there, which is exactly what you want, of course. And now we're ready to work our next series of bobbles again. So I'm going to show you the repeat unit once more. Again, bringing my Katona, my stone wash thread forward, just closing a little bit here with the Katona thread. In the next stitch, work a bobble. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times. You've got 6 loops on your hook. Change for the stonewashed, bring the Katona facing you, pull through that bobble stitch. Next stitch, you're going to work 1 double crochet, but I immediately need to change again to the Katona. Just going to pull that in a little bit, and then in the next stitch work a bobble again. That's 5 legs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 loops on your hook again, and changing to the stonewashed yarn over, pull through. Again we need to make 7 double crochets. So in the next stitch, making sure that the Katona is on the front facing you here. So 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need 2 more, 5, 6, and this last one here is number 7, and then again, let me just bring that this way, and then again I'm going to change for the Katona on the last yarn over. Then that completes my repeat. You see I've now done the pattern once and then done the repeat once. Now this repeat you now need to do 3 more times because you need to do 4 of these. If you just look at your work from the front, you can see these bobbles, they are nicely popping to the front, and that's exactly what you want because you don't want them coming towards you. You see they naturally tend to go the other way. So I've now done the repeat once, do this 3 more times, and then I'll see you at the end of the row just for the last bit. When you've done the repeat 4 times, you're almost at the end of row 2. At this point you should have 3 stitches left, and those 3 stitches you're going to work a double crochet on each. I'm just going to do that, just work a double crochet on each. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work, but I'll just do that in a moment. You can also do at this point is you can cut your yarn, so I'm just going to cut my yarn, and then you can work away this thread here to the back, because for the next row we'll be using a different color. So that completes row 2. For row 3 we're going to be working a double crochet on every stitch. That's in essence what we're doing here. It's a repetition of row 1, but I'd just like to show you how to go about those bobbles. So I'm just going to start by quickly working the first few stitches, and again always be mindful of that first stitch, that you don't accidentally skip that stitch, because that's an easy mistake to make. And then you only have 58 stitches, and then you suddenly think, oh, but things don't work out anymore. I'm always going to guarantee you that the mistake you made is accidentally skipping that first stitch. So I'm just going to go to the bobble, working double crochets. And now you're at a point, if you look here, you see this is the stitch before the bobble. It actually looks like it's the eye of the bobble, but this is actually the last, this is actually a double crochet you did after that bobble. So you work a double crochet in there, And the next one is on the bobble itself, and that's usually a rather elongated stitch, and that has to do with the way we make the bobble. And the next one is again a double crochet. Might have been a little hard to get into. Don't worry, that's normal, especially if you pulled that stitch tight. Well, you did that well if you did that. The next stitch is again a double crochet into the long stitch on the bobble there, and then do a double crochet on the double crochet after the bobble. I'll just do 1 or 2 more stitches, because what you see happens is that you're actually making a background around these bobble stitches, and that really makes them pop out real nice. So what you're going to do now is going to work a double crochet on every stitch, and here also, if I just open this up, so see that is that slightly elongated stitch there. That's the bobble stitch, and then the double crochets in between, and then the elongated stitch there is again the next bobble stitch. So we're going to work a double crochet on every stitch, 59 in total again, and then chain 1, turn, and I'll see you for row 4. Row 4 already. Row 4 is very similar to row 2. Going to work a series of double crochets and then work 2 bobbles again with a double crochet in between. But just we're going to be spacing them at a different position. I'm going to start by working 10 double crochets. Still need to do the chain 1 for turning, and then work the first 10 stitches, work a double. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is number 9. And then number 10 we're going to change colors again. So I've taken the first half of a stitch. Let me just get my Katona thread here also. There we go. And then make sure you're using the right color. I need the dark pink color I at this point. If you're using a different kit, make sure that you have the right color. And then I'm just going to yarn over and change colors. There we go. So now you've done 10 double crochets, and you've worked, let me just pull this close, and you've worked the last one to change colors. Now we're going to work these bobbles exactly the way we did it 2 rows down. So it's a yarn over, and then in the next stitch, and making sure the stone wash is facing you, work the first half of a treble. And we're going to do this 5 times. You need 5 of those legs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. Just going to close that first loop. When you've worked away this tail, that won't open up anymore. Then the yarn over, I'm going to again do with the stone wash, because we need 1 stitch in between. So take them all off in one go. And then on the next stitch, work a double again. Again, make sure that the Katona is facing you, so you don't have it visible on the front of your work. Work 1 double crochet, and then we're going to change colors back again to the Katona thread, because we want to work another bobble. There you go. Over the next stitch again, work a bobble, making sure that the stone washed is in front of you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is number 5. 6 loops on your hook again. Switch to the stone washed. Yarn over and pull through. Now we've done the 2 bobbles and the double in between. And then on the next 7 stitches, going to work a double crochet again. Just close that a bit. What you want to do again is make sure that the pink thread, the Katona thread, is facing you. So 1 double, I'm going to do 7, 2, 3, 4, this is number 6, still making sure the thread is facing me, and then number 7, it's the last one. I'm also using this to change colors back to the Katona thread, like so. And then this is your repeat unit, so the bobble, double, bobble, and then 7 of these doubles. This you're going to do 3 more times, so 4 times in total. I've just done once with you. Repeat this 3 more times, and I'll just see you towards the end of this row for the last bit. Then the repeat 3 times. If you just go back, see here was the first one, and then second, third, fourth. So you've done the first one and 3 repeats, 4 sets of these bobbles you have at the moment. Almost to the end of this row, going to make 2 more bubbles, a double in between, and then finish with the bubbles on, the doubles on the last 6 stitches. So change to the Katona thread again. So over the next stitch, which I actually want there we go. Going to work my last series of bubbles in this color. 2, you want 5 legs again. 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, changing to the stone washed. I'm going to take them all off. In the next stitch, do a double crochet. I'm just going to take the thread with me, and then change to the Katona again, and take them off. In the next stitch, going to work the last bobble of this row. It's 2 legs, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, changing to the Katona again, to the stone washed. Take them all off. At this point you should have 6 stitches left. I'm going to work a double on each of those. I'm just not going to take the Katona thread with me because it's just a bit easier. I'm just going to cut that and work it away. It's 3, 4, 5, and then here on the last one, stitch number 6. Chain 1 and turn, and then you're ready for row 5. So you've now done rows 1, 2, 3, and 4, these 4 rows here. You're going to repeat this basically until you've gone through all of the colors of the kit. So you've now used the first 2, you're going to use a few more, and that's going to bring you up to row 20. So you're going to now work row 1 again, so that's going to be a row of double crochets. Then repeat row 2 in a different color, so you're going to work the bobbles in this position, then work row 3 and work row 4 again with a different color, and then your bobbles go like this. So they're going to be alternating left and right, one after the other. And when you've done all the colors, you should be at row 20. So repeat rows 1 to 4 until row 20, and then I'll just see you quickly at that point also. When you're at row 20, your work looks like this. You've got all these bobble stitches and the double crochets in between. At this point, what you still need to do is 4 rows of double crochets. That's going to increase your work by about this much. I'm not going to show that to you. It's just 4 rows of double crochets. I'm sure you can do that perfectly without me. So work 4 more rows of double crochets. When you've done all of those 4 rows, cut your yarn, work away your last tails, and then you're finished with part 12. We've got the last part to do next week. Hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.